Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great evening. It's Tracy coming to you live from Golden Dog Adventure Company headquarters. And I'm here tonight with Jamie Tebow from Cornerstone VNA. How are you, Jamie?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. I'm glad you could be here with me tonight to talk a little bit about Cornerstone VNA and their Pet Peace of Mind program. And this is all part of Operation Shop Local Give Hope, which is an initiative with our Golden Dog partners to create aware of pets and people and their needs here over the holidays. And Cornerstone VNA is one of our charitable partners, and they're also part of this initiative. And we have some information on our website that we'll share with you that you can learn more about them and the other partners that we are supporting this holiday season. And many of them will be coming live with me over the next couple of weeks so that you can learn a little bit more about who they are, what they do, and the services they need, whether it's looking for volunteers or it's looking for specific supplies. We're going to share all that information with you. So before we jump into it, though, Jamie, just in case anybody has not heard of Cornerstone VNA or the Pet Peace of Mind program, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So Cornerstone is a local nonprofit VNA and hospice organization. We serve from ages from birth all the way to end of life and geriatrics. And with our hospice program, we're partnered with a national nonprofit called Pet Peace of Mind. And that helps to keep hospice patients and their pets together through the patient's end of life. So that can include sending in a volunteer, helping to offset the cost of food, basic grooming, basic vet care, and then if it's needed at the end to help rehome the pet, which is something that we've been seeing kind of a little bit of an uptick in, that we've now have the ability to help with that. It's been really nice. So that's our big program that we're focusing on here with Golden Dog. And then we're also doing a food drive as well for the community.
Well, and what kind of needs are you seeing this year that might potentially be different than in past years? Because I know there's just a ripple effect that people are experiencing, and I'm curious how it's affecting your organization.
So one of the big needs what we've had is a couple of patients could really use pet food. Between them and their caregivers, a lot of the caregivers are out of work for whatever reason. There are people that were at the shipyard that weren't getting paid. And then also having to take time off of work to help care for somebody is a strain. So they often pick up the burden of caring for the patient's pets. So if we can help alleviate that stress for them, it's a lot of help to them.
And so now the funds that you receive, are they just for supplies or do they go towards vet care and things like that?
Yep. So we can cover basic vet care. We don't cover anything like crazy and extensive. If that is something that is needed, then we work with the local grants that are offered through some of the vet clinics. But basic vet care, getting them up to date on their vaccines. If they're, something happened and they just need to be checked out. We had a little dog that he was fine. And then one day he was limping and it was kind of out of left field and no one knew what happened. So we were able to get a volunteer over there to pick him up and just bring him to his regular vet and get him checked out. But we don't do any, no big vet bills. And then we'll also cover basic grooming, which is a huge help to people, especially if they can't get out to bring the dog or cat to the groomers. We've also worked with local traveling mobile groomers, if that's something that's needed, depending on where the patient's located.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, and I'm sure it gives them peace of mind, hence the name, at a time when they just have to stay focused on themselves or,
Yep.
family members coming in. And it's just nice to know that their pets are being taken care of in much the same way as well. So it's a great program.
Yeah.
And are there specific needs for things that you're seeing? I mean, I know you said pet food, but what other kinds of things? I know we have a list on our website and you can see the ticker here at the bottom of the screen. So you can learn more about not only Cornerstone VNA, but the other organizations we're supporting. But tell me what specifics people are looking for, Jamie.
Like what donations we're looking for?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. So there's 4Health dog food. There's a specific brand. I have it written down at the office. I forgot to take that note. Rachel Ray dry cat food, chicken and brown rice for a very elderly, very picky kitty cat who's 18. And that's all that cat will eat, I guess.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so she's very picky, and it's his very best friend. So,
Aw.
and then seafood pate cat food. I think it was Frisky's brand. I have it all written down. I can put all the specifics. And then cat litter, scoopable clumping cat litter.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind putting this list in the comment section after the broadcast ends, that'd be
Sure.
great, just so people can refer to it easily. Okay.
Yeah, I can put all the specific brands in there.
Okay, great. And can people just drop that stuff off with you in Rochester?
They can. And we also did an Amazon wish list because there were some other miscellaneous things that folks asked for. Tough, truer dog toys, milk bones, some Kongs, which we like to have sometimes if we have a dog that's a little bit anxious or a little overprotective of their owner, if they need to have wound care. It's nice to offer them something to keep them busy so that our staff can do what they need to do.
Great. And I know we have some specific wish lists for you on the website, so people can take a look at that.
Yep, and I can post the link.
Okay, great. And I know we're collecting at the Golden Dog Playground. We're collecting there. If you're not near Rochester, but you're visiting us here, we'll take it there for you. Any events that we have, there are some of our partner locations too. I know that Pet Supplies Plus collects donations for you.
Yep, they collect
any
monetary
other organizations
donations
out there that you know who are have collection bins for you as well?
Yep. So Woof in Hampton has a collection bin for donation, for monetary donations, and Pet Supplies Plus in Somersworth has a collection bin for donations as well.
Fantastic.
And then if you order off the Amazon wish list, it'll get shipped right directly to the office.
Easy peasy. Okay. And one of the things that we'll do too, if you have a large donation and you need someone to come and pick it up, and you can't get to Rochester, we will organize a pickup for you at your home, and we'll get the stuff to Cornerstone VNA. So you can just reach out to us. All those details are on the website, and you can contact us about that. So I know that the donations, the supplies, the pet food, that's all stuff that's really important that you need this year. But I know too that you could benefit from volunteers. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that opportunity?
Yeah, so we've actually made some improvements, I think, to how we get volunteers onboarded. It's a lot less, there's a lot less hoops to jump through. It's a bit of an easier process. And while the training is it's still about 18 hours, they can do it on their own time from the comfort of their own home on their own schedule, which is a lot easier than trying to plan a time to come and sit and do a Zoom with me for 6 to 8 weeks in a row.
As much as we would like to see you in person, Jamie, you know that.
I know. If there was enough people to do a group and schedules worked, I would be happy to do a group training too. If there's some people with their friends or coworkers or family that want to do it, really whatever works for them is kind of how we'll do it. But it seems the remote training has been really helpful for people that have been doing it so far. And what our volunteers do is they go in and they can take the dog out for a walk, take the cat to the vet, groomers. And it just gives them, the patient and the caregiver, the time that they don't have to worry about the pet. And maybe they can't get outside and take the dog for a walk. We just had a patient or a caregiver, he hurt his shoulder. So taking his hound dog for a walk, who just loved to sniff and pull everywhere, it was really challenging for him, and he needed all of his extra strength to care for his wife.
Yeah.
So we were able to send volunteers in there a couple of times a week to take this dog for a walk. And when everybody told me about her and I called, I said, how bad does she pull? Because he's like, everyone's like, oh, well, she's the size of Ozzy. And if you haven't met Ozzy, he's almost 90 pounds of puppy. And I was like, well, I really can't send the volunteers that we have in there to take a 90-pound pulling dog for a walk in this certain neighborhood. And I said, can I just come and I'll take her for a walk and see how she does. And she was so sweet. And she's not the size of Ozzy. And with very food motivated. So with a few treats, and I'd say, oh, look. And okay. So she did great with the volunteers, and the volunteers really loved her.
Oh, see, and you get free snuggles, free dog kisses. There's so many
Exactly.
benefits and giving back. Well, and I know that you only target certain territories. So where should people ideally live or be able to get to help out?
Yeah, so we cover all the way from Rochester to Effingham area. So we could really use somebody in that northern catchment area. Um, they don't have to. I mean, if people are willing to travel, Rochester, and then we're all the way to the Seacoast, Seabrook, Hampton, Rye, and then we've just expanded a bit into Epping,
Hmm.
Exeter, and Brentwood. Brentwood's kind of a little bit on case by case, but Epping and Exeter. So
Okay.
it's a pretty big territory. So kind of if people are in that area, we try to keep people in with 30 minutes or less for their travel time. Um, but there are some people who don't mind the extra drive. I mean, we've got a couple of volunteers that'll drive an hour to go and sit with somebody. But if you're going to take a dog for a walk for a half an hour, an hour's commute does not seem like a decent idea.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um,
Exactly.
but
Well, how
yeah,
many volunteers could you ideally use here going into the new year?
I am anticipating some decent growth with the program. So ideally, like 2 to 3 new volunteers
Okay.
would be huge, kind of depending on where they're located. And now that we're partners with you guys, we're seeing an uptick in our fundraising efforts as well. So we're able to do more. So we're promoting the program a lot more than we were
Oh, great.
initially, when it was kind of really anybody who was truly struggling financially was kind of where we were focusing on. But now that we have more cash flow coming in, we're able to kind of branch out and help more people
Awesome.
on
Awesome.
our census. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And then, as far as volunteer hour commitment, what does that look like for people?
It's case by case. Ideally, volunteers would be open to also doing companion visits too. And visiting with the patient or the caregiver, because it's kind of a lonely journey sometimes. We had our little Pomeranian guy, and it was him and his mom. So, as happy as he was to go out for his walk and get some attention and exercise, his mom looked forward to the visit just as much as he did.
I
So the
bet.
volunteers would go in, take him for a little walk, and then go and sit with her, pick up kind of his little puppy pads and put new ones down, and then sit with her for 20 to 30 minutes too, just chatting. So it's really whatever works for the volunteers. It's no more than 4 hours per visit is what we've been telling people. Ideally, no more than 3. 4 kind of is the max. But the average visit for like a companion volunteer is an hour and a half to 2 hours per
Okay.
visit per week. And then it depends if people have the flexibility in the room to go multiple times a week, especially to take a dog for a walk. That's great. But there's no like strict commitment to time.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like, people can give you kind of what their availability is and you can be
Yep.
flexible working with them. Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you to let you know they're interested? I think you have a application on your website, correct?
Yep. Right on the website I believe it's under volunteer. It takes a few clicks to get through to where you need to be to apply. It looks like a job application, but it's not. It is a volunteer position. It just helps with our HR side of things.
Perfect.
So they can reach out there. They can reach out Facebook, email, at a Golden Dog event, wherever I am, reach out to me.
Perfect. Well, and I know, actually, I'm reading a message from Jody, so let me flash that up here because I
Sure.
lost my thought. So Jody is watching us. She's one of our Golden Dog partners as well, and she says, "I love to learn that it's beneficial for both the pet and pet parents." Yeah, absolutely. It's just such a wonderful program, and my husband and myself, with his parents aging and us taking more time to care for them, I'm really, becoming fond of or I should say more fond of everything that you do because being so close to it myself, I just have a big heart for it right now. So I'm so glad for what you guys do, and so glad that you are doing this Pet Peace of Mind program and that we can partner with you and support you. And I'm glad that you're finding more volunteers through our audience, and you're also getting donations. So that's fantastic.
Yeah,
and I
it's
know
been a huge
Jody
help.
loves to be involved as well. And she's been reaching out to me quite a few times to see what she can do on her end. And, that's the kind of partners we have, is the people who want to give back. And those are the kind of partners, or those are the kind of local businesses too, that I highly recommend that people shop at, because these are the businesses that constantly give back. And you're going to see on the landing page we've created on our website at Shop Local Give Hope, the companies and their give back philosophies, not only for the holidays, but for the entire year. This isn't just, a one and done type of thing. This is their ongoing philosophy. This is what their business, the platform their business is built on. So I highly encourage you to support those businesses if you could. And so you shop local, and then you give hope by donating back to these organizations that we're supporting. And that's really what it's all about. And Jody's like, oh, heck yeah. Love you, Jody. So people know how to get a hold of you, and they know what information you need. They know what donations, and I know you'll keep us updated on that if anything changes, and we'll update on our Facebook page as well. Yep. Any final messages to our listeners? Anything we didn't cover? Anything else of importance that people should know about?
I mean, there's a lot of great programs at Cornerstone, not just, Pet Peace of Mind is one of my very favorite ones. Not because I oversee it, but I love everything about it. But we have drop-in grief groups, for people that are struggling, with loss through the holidays. If that's something that people out in the community need, they don't need to sign up. They can just come to the office. I believe it's on Tuesdays, but I can post that in there too. And we do a lot of caregiver support. So if you're caring for a loved one, Tracy and I were talking about this earlier, it's kind of a lonely journey. And if you don't really have anybody that understands what you're going through as a caregiver, the caregiver support groups are really, really beneficial. And we now have 5 of them throughout our catchment area. So I can post that too as well.
Now, is that the same thing as the death cafes?
No, different. These are caregiver cafes. Most of them are at libraries, and they are run by volunteers as well. Okay. And it's a nice group of people, and they all go, and some weeks they do a craft. Some weeks they just kind of talk and hash things out. We've had caregivers that they just need to go and kind of unload what they're going through, and have people that understand what it's like, and not try to fix the problem, but just listen to it. And then
such a powerful support.
And just having somebody that understands kind of what you're going through. Everybody's journey is a little bit different, but at the base, caregiving it's a hard thing to do. So if we can help support them while they're doing that, that's our goal.
Yeah, agreed. And thank you for all you do and all your organization does. It's wonderful. We're so honored to be partnered with you. And I want to remind everybody to stay tuned to our Facebook page over the next couple of weeks between now and primarily December 24th, as we create more awareness of this collaboration with our partners and with local charities, to just create more awareness of their mission, create more awareness of their needs, and just try to give, more support and hope to people and pets in the area, because it's kind of a tricky time of year with the trickle down effect that's been happening from the government shutdown and SNAP benefits. Fortunately, that's all back in play now, but it has created a large ripple effect. And, that's why this came to play, and why all of our partners and our charitable partners said, yep, we're on board. So I know I can always count on you guys. So awesome. Let's see. I've got another comment here. Let me just make sure there's no question. All right. Jody's got a thought here. She says, it's so important to feel and understand that these people are not alone. That is what being a community is all about. Yep. Well said, Jody. Appreciate it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for spending time with me. Ozzy, I know he's conked out in the back there, but glad he could join us as well. And thank you to those of you who were listening and commenting. We really appreciate your support. And, anything we post on our Facebook page about this, if you're willing to share it with with your followers as well, and just kind of, share this far and wide so we can let people know, and other businesses, other dog lovers know the needs that are here in our local community so that we can all help this time of year. So have a wonderful holiday, everybody. Thank you again, Jamie. Thank you, everyone
Thank
who
you.
is watching, and we'll see you again next time. Have a great night, everyone.
Take care.